Hello everyone, welcome to Cove Media, where we learn, build, and play one pixel at a time. I'm glad you're here today. Whether you're here just to watch, to learn, or you just need to decompress for a little bit, we're glad you're here. We'll get right into it. So the last few lessons, we have built the framework of our game. We have two moving paddles, a player paddle and an AI paddle, and we do have a moving ball in our play space. And so today we're going to be doing a little bit more to just to turn it into a proper game. So a big thing we're going to be doing today is the ball reset so that each time it goes past either the player or the AI paddle, it'll reset back to the center of the game. We're also going to start getting some of the background stuff we're going to need to start getting the score running and stored, but we'll worry about displaying it in the next lesson. So we're going to get right back into it. Have our code here. I'm just going to press F5 with Visual Studio Code anyway, to run it. We're going to make sure everything's still working like it was the last time. There we go. Pulled up. I can control the paddle on the left. The AI is running on the right, and I'm just going to let the ball keep going. So now the ball went past my paddle, going to travel forever, but we're going to fix that. So we're going to stop it. So first thing we're going to do is we're going to create a new function. Not something we've done yet. So everything we've been doing has been in our main, but we're going to come up above it. We're going to be adding a new function that we'll be able to use and call upon. Use that phrase def, which will helps define it as a function. We're going to call it reset ball. And into it, we're going to be sending the actual ball in here to make the adjustments we need so that it will reset. And for right now, all we're going to do is ball.center, which is just telling it, hey, I want the ball to go here. I want the center of the ball to be at this location. And say equals. We're going to do width, which is just our screen width, divided by 2. And then same thing with our height. And this will set it back to the center of the screen. And so that's all we're going to do right now, but that we will have a few problems from this, but we'll get into that. So we're just going to scroll down towards the end of our code where our ball paddle collision is. And we're going to press enter a few times, put a few lines in. And so what we're going to call this is actually we're going to call this scoring, and we'll get into that because this is where how the score is going to be updated, but we'll put that in just a little bit. So I'm going to use a couple if statements. If ball.left, so if the left side of the ball is less than or equal to 0, so if it's past that 0 mark, the left side of our screen, we just want to reset the ball. And we're going to send the ball in there. And it's going to be the same thing. We're going to do elif, which is just an else if statement. Ball.right. And the width, and if it goes past the width of the screen, same thing. We're going to reset the ball. All right. So now I'm going to press run the code, and we're going to test out the change real quick. Everything should be fine. There we go. Now I'm just going to let the ball go past me. So now the ball will reset whether it goes past me or the AI paddle. Now a few issues is the ball is going to continue with the speed it had. It's also going to keep going in the direction it had. Now eventually what's going to happen, the physics of the game will probably break a good bit because the ball is just going to keep accelerating and accelerating until it just gets crazy like that. So we're going to stop it, and we're going to put in a few more things that will reset the value of the ball speed, but we're also going to be adding some randomness so that whenever it starts, whether it's the start of the game or after a ball reset, if it heads left or right, we won't know until it happens. Because currently the way it works, it's all at the start of the game. it's always going to be heading towards the AI paddle, but we're going to fix that. So next thing, we're going to head back up to our top, and we have to add an import something else. We're going to enter and import something called random, which just is a pre-existing library we can call upon to get some random enough numbers for what we want to do. The next thing, we're going to add to our reset ball. So what we're going to be doing, one, this is to send the ball to the left or to the right randomly, but this is also going to reset the ball speed so we're not getting anything super crazy as we play. So we're going to create these functions, ball dx, and now we're going to have a ball dx and a ball dy here. There's also the ball dx and ball dy in the main. They are separate in this case. They're created separately in the functions and they do not directly interact, so don't worry about that. And so ball dx equals random dot choice, and inside, and then so parentheses and brackets, we're going to have -1, comma 1. So we're just telling it I want a -1 or a 1 value. And we're going to be multiplying it by our ball speed x, and then same thing for ball dy. We're going to create it as well, and more or less the same thing. Well, it is exactly the same thing, it's just for the y direction. -1 and 1 times our ball speed y. And this will make it so that when the ball resets, we're going to not only be changing its position, we're going to be functionally resetting its speed, so no crazy shenanigans happen. So we're going to, now to get those two values, the ball dx, ball dy, we have to use what's called a return value, and all we're doing here is we're telling it we're going to be sending these values back out. For the ball center, we are just outright telling it this is where the center position is going to be. For these two, we're having to send it back out, and we'll be assigning it to the ball dx and ball dy variables we've put in our main function. All right. Now we have to reset our code. Well, change some of our code, and so we're actually going to come down here towards the top of our main, and actually above our player paddle, I'm going to hit enter, and we're going to add just a describer for these, and we're going to just call this game objects. I'm going to hit enter a couple times, and so what we're going to be doing is we're actually going to be replacing this right here, this ball dx, ball dy. And so how we're going to be doing that, it's going to do ball dx, comma ball dy, and it's going to be equal to our reset ball. And so this is going to, it's going to do the same thing where it's setting the value of these to our ball speed, but it's going to randomize at the start of the game. This is for the start, which direction the ball will head in at the very beginning. And now we're going to come down a bit, back down to our scoring, and we're going to do that same thing again. We're actually going to be replacing this reset ball with what we did above, our ball dx and our ball dy equals our reset ball. Same thing here. All right. Now let's test to see if everything worked out correctly. honestly, I'm just going to let it go past me a couple times. There we go. So now the ball will randomly come towards me. It'll, after each go, it's going to spawn in the middle, respawn in the middle, and then it'll head in one of the directions. Also, the speed is going to be reset, so we don't have to worry about any weird shenanigans happening. So we're just going to stop it there. And so now the last thing we're going to do tonight is we're going to get the background of what we need to start tracking the score for the player and the AI going. So we're just going to scroll up a little bit, and we're going to put that below where we set the ball speed. So all we're going to do is going to have player score equals 0, and then AI score equals 0. And just so everything here in the main at the top is going to be set at the very beginning, and so it's not, as the game's running, everything's running in this while loop. So this, once it starts, this stuff's not set again, is not touched again at this point. So all we're going to do is come back down to our existing scoring mechanic, our scoring code, and we're just going to come down here, and for our AI, if it makes it past our paddle, we're just going to tell it plus equal 1. And the same thing, if we make it past the AI panel, we're going to take our score and increase it by 1. Plus equals 1. And now something we will do momentarily is we're going to just print our scores whenever it makes it past us. Now we will be adding this to the game window in the next lesson, but this is just for a quick verification that everything's working like it's supposed to be. And then just put an extra space there. All right. I'm going to do it on both sides. I just copy and pasted that. And it should show up in this bottom section as we're going. There we go. I'll actually let it score on me. Oh, I messed something up there. What did I do? I think it's getting upset. I'll explain what I'm doing once I make sure this is. There it is. So I'm actually going to stop it real quick. So what was going on there, why it threw the error, is this is printing out what's called a string, and this is a string, but I was wanting to print the score, and it was giving me an error because it's an integer, so a number. So I have to tell it to change it to a string. And so now we can come back once it gets started. Just going to let score on me. You can actually see at the bottom it's going through and printing our score. So this is telling us that, hey, what we put in to track the score is working correctly. So whenever I am able to score on the AI, mine will go from 0 to 1, and there we go. Oh, so now we're just going to stop it. And so that's where we're at this point. Now our ball is resetting, this position's resetting, the speed's resetting, and we're just getting the basics of tracking our score in there. And so next things to do is, one, we're going to be posting those scores on the screen because we don't want to be using the terminal because that's no fun, at least for a lot of people. Some people find it fun. And then we're also going to be working on getting win conditions so that whether the player or the AI wins, it's a hey you won or hey you lost. So that's all we have for today. Again, I thank you guys for stopping by. I hope you have a wonderful week and have a good time.